Ever thought of catching the next boat to escape your problems? Meet Jonah, the original escape artist, who tried to dodge his divine mission by setting sail to nowhere. Good day, Gracekeepers. My name is Joe, and I welcome you to your daily dose of God. Today's reading takes us through Jonah 1, as we watch Jonah make a desperate attempt to flee from God's command. The word of the Lord came to Jonah, son of Amittai. Go to the great city of Nineveh and preach against it, because its wickedness has come up before me. But Jonah ran away from the Lord and headed for Tarshish. He went down to Joppa, where he found a ship bound for that port. After paying the fare, he went aboard and sailed for Tarshish to flee from the Lord. Then the Lord sent a great wind on the sea, and such a violent storm arose that the ship threatened to break up. All the sailors were afraid, and each cried out to his own god. And they threw the cargo into the sea to lighten the ship. But Jonah has gone below deck, where he lay down and fell into a deep sleep. The captain went to him and said, "How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God. Maybe he will take notice of us, so that we will not perish." Then the sailors said to each other, "Come, let us cast lots to find out who is responsible for this calamity." They cast lots, and the lot fell on Jonah. So they asked him, "Tell us who is responsible for making all this trouble for us. What kind of work do you do? Where do you come from? What is your country? From what people are you?" He answered, "I am a Hebrew, and I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land." This terrified them, and they asked, "What have you done?" They knew he was running away from the Lord because he had already told them so. The sea was getting rougher and rougher, so they asked him, "What should we do to you to make the sea calm down for us?" "Pick me up and throw me into the sea," he replied, "and it will become calm. I know that it is my fault, that this great storm has come upon you." Instead, the men did their best to row back to land, but they could not, for the sea grew even wilder than before. Then they cried out to the Lord, "Please, Lord, do not let us die for taking this man's life. Do not hold us accountable for killing an innocent man, for you, Lord, have done as you pleased." Then they took Jonah and threw him overboard, and the raging sea grew calm. At this, the men greatly feared the Lord, and they offered a sacrifice to the Lord and made vows to him. Now the Lord provided a huge fish, and Jonah was in the belly of the fish 3 days and 3 nights. Jonah 1 not only sets the stage for a dramatic, prophetic narrative, but also reflects our modern-day struggles with evasion and accountability. Jonah's decision to flee rather than confront God's directive mirrors how we often react to uncomfortable or demanding situations in our own lives. Whether it's a challenging responsibility at work, a difficult conversation in a relationship, or a moral dilemma, the instinct to escape rather than face issues head-on can lead to greater complications. The storm that follows Jonah's flight is a powerful metaphor for the turmoil that can ensue when we ignore or run from our problems instead of addressing them. This chapter invites us to examine our responses to God's calls and to consider how we handle the tasks we'd rather avoid. As we reflect on Jonah's flight from Nineveh, let's consider our own lives. What are we running from? Jonah's story It teaches us that avoidance can compound our challenges, turning manageable tasks into overwhelming problems. Think about a situation you might be avoiding right now. What might be the first step toward addressing it rather than turning away? This week, I encourage you to take that step and share your experiences. How did confronting your Jonah moment change the outcome for you? Share your stories in the comments below, and let's support each other in embracing our challenges with courage and faith. Share Jesus everywhere you go, and I'll see you here tomorrow for another dose. Peace and blessings.